Alrighty guys, so in today's video we are going to be going through 10 characters that we have not yet met inside of Piggy. Now these are characters that we know exist in the storyline of Piggy, and those characters that are in fact canon. So what I'll be doing today is I will be rounding up exactly 10 characters that we still have not yet met. And don't worry guys, today it's actually going to be 10, it's not going to be 11, I promise. But first guys, if you would like to see more videos like this, then please make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and also maybe even consider subscribing, because I will be trying to get more videos like this out in the near future. Also be sure to use star code Antixx when buying Robux or Premium, because it does help me out an awful lot. And if you do, make sure to take a picture, send it to me over on Twitter or Discord so that I can show my appreciation. So guys, I think it's time that we jump into the top 10. Number 1, William. Now, I wanted to start with a pretty obvious character, William. We still have not yet met William inside of Piggy. We know he exists, we don't know exactly where he is, but we definitely know that he is canon in the story. Now, with Piggy Book 2, Chapter 6 only just coming out this last weekend, we actually got to find out a little bit more about William. Now, William actually did run away, he went missing, so we have exactly no idea where he could be. He could be infected at this point, but we all know that George did run away by himself. He was also very young and he also did survive. So my prediction here is once we have headed north, I am pretty sure that we are going to be coming across William. Number 2, Leo the Lion. Now we know that Leo the Lion does exist because there is a laundromat in the alleys. Now normally when we get these sort of shops or stalls or anything like that, they're normally named after a character. For example, Daisy's TVs, Kitty's Kitchen, and also Grandma's Poutine. So all of these places are named after all of these different characters. And so in the alleys you have Leo's laundromat, but we still have not yet met Leo. So where could he be? Could he actually be playing a bigger part in the story in the future of Piggy? Number 3, Mrs. P. Now Mrs. P is exactly the reason as to how this whole storyline began. Mrs. P fell sick to a disease called linneoma, and Mr. P tried to fund a vaccine to try and save his wife. However, the only very near sighting that we have had of Mrs. P is of her in the window. If you go up onto the roof in the city, you can see clearly that she is right there, just sneaking around the corner of the window, staring out at you. Now we have had a couple more very different sightings of Mrs. P as well. We have also had her in picture form. So she also appears right at the end of the carnival cutscene. You can see right there on the side of the bookshelf that there is a Mrs. P painting. She also appears in the city if you play it on Player Unbot, and that is the way that you get the true ending. You then basically have to take that picture through into the plant and you have to give the picture to Mr. P. But Mrs. P is still a character that is kind of sacred in a way. We still don't know much about her, we've never met her, but I'm very sure that we are going to be seeing her very soon. Number 4, Daisy. Now just a little bit like William, Daisy was actually seen again in Piggy Book 2 Chapter 6 in the end cutscenes. So Daisy was basically there to look after Willow and William once their parents got taken away from the police. So Daisy kind of fostered Willow and William in a way. And again, like I said earlier, Daisy also has a store, the Daisy's TVs. So again, like William, I'm pretty sure that when we do go north, we will be finding Daisy. Number 5, Pony's dad. Now this one isn't necessarily just his dad, however his dad is the one that has came up in conversation. Now in the end cutscenes of the city, we can clearly see that Pony is speaking about being an optometrist, just like his dad, and that is the reason why his dad does appear in the Piggy storyline. He is officially canon just because of that very simple little line. However, there was also another time where they were brought up, but there was also a book in Pony's room in the safe place, and that book actually read out saying, "I miss you, Mom and Dad. Every night I feel the guilt of what I've done, but I'll make things right. I'll promise." So not only is his dad now canon inside of Piggy, but his mum is of course now too. Now what has happened to the parents? Well, maybe they have potentially become infected. Now I do think that it would be a pretty cool chapter if we take Pony along in the next coming chapters, and Pony basically has to try and complete a map with his dad being the bot. I do think that that would be quite the emotional ride, but a pretty cool chapter. Number 6. Willow's parents. Now Willow's parents did actually get taken away by the police, and the one thing that is kind of on everybody's lips is, why did they actually get taken away? Well, we know that the characters were grayed out on purpose, and maybe this is just simply to do with it being a flashback. However, there's something quite fishy going on here as to why the parents were just taken away for absolutely no reason. Well, maybe there is a reason, but at the moment we have absolutely no idea as to why Willow's parents was taken away from them. And then Willow and William were basically left on their own, two very young children, just to basically try to survive in the city of Lucella. Very mean policemen. A major stat. I think, I would be getting a little bit of social services involved, but yeah. Number 7. Billy. Now, the reason that I actually added Billy in is because that we have been speaking about the Mr. Stitchy eye. And if you take a very, very close look at this Billy skin, he does in fact have a very, very similar eye to Mr. Stitchy. Now, could this just simply be a coincidence? Or could this mean that he is a part of the Insolence? And what exactly is the Insolence going to be? Is it going to be another TSP like story? Because we also have Mari, who actually does have a very similar eye, and we also have Coley, who also does have a very similar eye. So I do find that it is quite interesting that these characters are now coming out with the Mr. Stitchy eyes. So that is exactly why I wanted to put Billy on this list, because actually in fact he's not really canon at this point. However, there are signs of him being canon, just simply to do with the Mr. Stitchy eye. Number 8. Penny. Now, we have actually seen Penny in a very distorted way. She did appear in the end cutscenes of the distorted memory map. However, it wasn't really the encounter that we wanted. She kind of just left the house, stood there in the front yard for a tiny little second, and then decided to move along. All that being said, George was chasing her out of the house, and then all of a sudden, George became infected. But we also see Penny in the flashback trailer. You can see her right at the end there, guarding the potion. Now, we're pretty sure that that potion at the end is going to be some form of vaccine to save the world. But all that being said, Penny is in fact being the guard of that vaccine. And she also appears in the main screen where, it's the same thing as the trailer. But we still have not yet seen Penny. Number 9. Mr. Stitchy. Now, I just want to point out something very, very interesting, and I will actually be asking Minitoon about this in the interview that we will be giving him just next week, guys. Now, you can't actually spawn in Mr. Stitchy anymore, and the thing that I do want to bring up, and I will do another video on this as well, but Mr. Stitchy does not actually rely in the book 2 skins. He is actually in the extras. Now, the question I have for Minitoon is, can extra skins actually be canon inside of Piggy? Or are they being true to their name and they are literally just extra characters. After all, we do know that Mr. Stitchy was a recreation of one of Minitoon's old games. But I do think that it is quite an interesting question to ask Minitoon, is extra skins canon inside of Piggy? Because the answer to that is, if it is going to be no, then Mr. Stitchy has nothing to do with this eye that we are seeing everywhere. And finally, number 10, Rash. Now hold up, I know what you're gonna say, we saw him in the alleys, and you know what, I completely agree with you. But again, like yesterday's video, 9 is a little bit of a weird number, so I kind of had to try and add one in to try and get it to 10. Please forgive me, please, thank you. But I did add someone in that we did see for a very short amount of time, and we have not seen Rash since. So I think you guys gotta give me a little bit of leeway, you know what I'm saying? Rash was seen for roughly maybe 20 seconds in the alleys map, and since then he has not yet appeared in any cutscene, any chapter whatsoever. So where could Rash have gone? Well guys, that's where you come and play. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think has happened to Rash? But anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's video. That is the top 10 characters that we have not yet met inside of Piggy. Yes, minus Rash. Okay, we get it. But anyway, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you guys in the next one.